Okay, welcome to day 6 of 50 days of Facebook Live. Today I want to talk about peace and rest and just the needfulness. You know, the Bible talks about how we need to strive to enter into his rest. And you know, that's the only time we're actually like really given permission to strive to enter into something, you know, because we're actually in such a season of like of thriving, but thriving from a place of rest and not from a place of strife and striving, you know. And so that is like the beautiful grace that is on this season. And so we need to strive to enter into his rest. And so some people some people think that they naturally tend towards anxiety and worrying and all those kind of things. I know lots of mamas out there, like, you know, you got your kids are like your heart on the outside running around, and you're just, you know, sometimes it's, you know, not as easy to like settle and rest and relax. But really, I feel like this is a thing of the season. We need to strive to enter into the rest. We need to get that peace. And, because this is the place of peace where we can, you know, where it is well with our soul, where we can, you know, call our soul into alignment and have that peace and that settling come, because it's only in that place of peace that we can really access the kingdom and we can really truly tap in to hear the voice of God. And so we need to go after peace on a very, very intentional level, you know. And I'm so grateful, that, I mean, it might be a little bit easier for me. I do live alone. I have a very peaceful atmosphere here in my house. You know, I don't have the noise of children or animals or families and all that kind of stuff. And so I get to spend lots of time with Jesus and really going after peace. And so, you know, but it's really helped me to just cultivate this real deep peace that I can carry and I can bring with me. And, you know, and even as I work as an ultrasound technologist, like there is a peace that I carry. And, I'll even do practical things like when I'm working. Just want to say hello, Andrew from New Zealand, Nathan Bontrager. Good to see you guys on here. But, you know, some practical things I'll do even as an ultrasound technologist to set up the atmosphere in my room, like, because things can be a little bit swirly in the workplace, especially like in healthcare. Like people are concerned with, you know, what's going on in their body. And so I have all kinds of atmospheres coming into my room every single day. And as a feeler, that can actually, you know, when you don't have your atmosphere strong and you're strengthened in it and you're not a carrier of peace, then you can actually get thrown off quite easily by the atmosphere of other people. And you know what? I've been training my spirit and strengthened. And even sometimes I have to like brace myself when I encounter someone else's atmosphere and like really pull on my spirit, man. You know, but there's this, you know, I just have this great Joshua Mills album that I love to play. And I have it on Apple Music. I purchased it. Love Joshua Mills. He's someone who really carries the glory. But he's got this one album that is completely instrumental piano. It's called Spirit Spa. And so that's something that I can, you know, get away with playing at work because it doesn't have any like worship lyrics. And so I've been playing it this week, this Spirit Spa music, Joshua Mills, and it's so anointed, and it really just sets this incredible atmosphere of peace in my room, to the point that like my patients will almost, like in the morning when I'm doing I do abdominal ultrasounds in the morning. People have been fasting all night, and half of them are like falling asleep. Like, I mean, the ultrasound doesn't take that long, but there's just such a atmosphere of peace that I cultivate. You know, I got the lights dimmed and turned down. And so, you know, so that's something I do. I set the atmosphere because there's a lot of swirl and stuff going on. And I don't want to just be a victim to the atmosphere and what is happening in the workplace, but I want to, because as prophets, we shift the atmosphere. And so I shift and I set the atmosphere, you know, and I really love to do that, even especially when I have children who come to me as patients. And I got to do ultrasound on a little 4-year-old boy yesterday. And I love doing kids because it's like, you know, it's this opportunity, and kids are so spiritually sensitive and intuitive. And so it is this opportunity to like pull on my spirit, to set the atmosphere and create a space where, and the children, they're always so good for me when I have to do an ultrasound, because I just, just to be able to engage with them and just to have that atmosphere when it's like they come into the presence, and in the presence that I create in my space, like they just feel safe. They feel secure. They feel like, okay, this scary medical situation is not so scary because this person, feels good. Like, I think children can really connect with you on a spiritual level. But you know what? I want to just practically just tell you, because I've been talking about essential oils. So we want to talk about spiritual realities and then also natural things that we can do and use to help us to create these atmospheres that we're looking at. Because the spiritual and the natural work together. Like God, the leaves of the tree are for healing. God has created things, even in nature, that can help us to settle, to calm. Some people, I really don't like this mindset that's out there where it's just like, where it's kind of like owning things as identity labels, where people say like, oh, I'm just a socially anxious person, or I just have an anxiety disorder, or I'm just this, or I'm just that. And it's like, no, actually, anxiety is not something that you need to accept as part of your identity. It is something that is, it is something that is from another kingdom, and that we need to work to get it out of our lives, because the kingdom of God is righteousness, peace, and joy in the Holy Spirit. And anxiety is of another kingdom and of another spirit. And so, but it's beautiful because there are natural things that God has created in nature that we can use, to bring that peace and that calm. And I want to share a testimony, because when I first started, so I only got involved with essential oils because God told me to. And it was on January 1st, 2020, 5 years ago. The only essential oil I'd ever used was peppermint. And, but God told me to do it. So I bought a kit of oils. I started learning. I was like, okay, I was in a healthcare job at the time. I'm still in a healthcare job, but I was working in a hospital. I was not awake and aware of the things in medicine that are like actually really not serving us. And so I was very ignorant. And honestly, I thought essential oils sounded a little hokey, because in, Western medical field, there's a real like looking down the nose at people who try natural alternatives to allopathic medicine. And so I really had been around that, where there was just such negativity against like anti-vaxxers and people who wouldn't take medication but would try, naturopath stuff. And now I'm so like not like that anymore. But I remember this one time, and it was during the pandemic. It was early on, and I had essential oils. And so I'd been learning, and I remember I was really struggling, like massively struggling with, just anxiety, depression. I had a sense in my spirit that what was going on in the world was not as it seemed. Just my discerner was all, stirred up. And then we're in lockdowns, and I'm working in a hospital, and like family is locking down. And so I'm like not being able to connect with people. And I was just like, I would say I was kind of in a bit of a depression. And I didn't stay there for too long, but I just remember like there was so much going on. And I remember laying in bed and just my mind just spinning, and just tears, and just like being so, feeling almost like it felt almost like it was the end of the world. And I remember what my upline had said to me about essential oils and applying them on the bottom of your feet. And I was like, I don't know, this sounds kind of hokey. Like, really? Like, is that really going to help? Like, putting oils on your feet, how can that help you to calm down and feel better? And I was like, you know what? I'm here. I'm miserable. I can't sleep. My thoughts are swirling. I might as well try. Like, what do I have to lose to try? And so actually the oil that I had it's actually called Serenity. It's a blend of different essential oils. It has lavender in it, chamomile, and other calming oils. And I remember Kimberly had taught me that there's reflexology points on the bottom of our feet, and that the big toe is connected to the mind, to the brain. And so I was like, okay, actually, you know what? I don't think I knew that at that point. I know that now. But so I just took the oils and I rubbed them all over the bottom of my feet. and I put socks on and I got into bed. And I remember laying there and just like laying there and previously anxious, upset, like mind swirling. And I remember laying there and just feeling this like calm peace, this like settling that just like came over. It's almost like I could feel my mind winding down and my thoughts slowing down, and I was like able to go to sleep. And, you know, for me, I was a little bit of a skeptic. I was only doing it because God told me to start using essential oils. But for me, this was like a super powerful testimony of like, wow, this is, you know, this is something that's really, it is really powerful. So what is it? You know, and it really piqued my curiosity to start doing research. So as, you know, we're pursuing peace in this season, and as you're pursuing peace, if you're someone who you struggle with peace, I mean, yes, we want to go spiritually and connect with God and press in intimacy, but sometimes we can do things naturally in our environment to evoke that sense of peace and calm. And so 2 things that I think every person needs to have, especially if you struggle with emotions, anxiousness, trouble sleeping at night, things like that. You need to have lavender essential oil and vetiver essential oil. And so lavender is a flower, it is a plant. I've been with doTERRA for 5 years now. I diffuse this every night before I go to bed. It's just super, super powerful for me. You know, and I used to be the kind of person that every single night I would wake up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom. It was just I was like, oh, it just happens. I always wake up in the night, can never make it through the night sleeping, until I started diffusing lavender. And I started diffusing, I just put like 8 drops of that with water in one of my diffusers, which I have on my bedside table. I diffuse it while I'm sleeping. I stopped waking up in the middle of the night. You know, something I wasn't really expecting. It's not just something that smells good, but it actually helps to bring you down into a deeper level. It really helps to support you, and it just kind of brings you into that like deeper sleep so that you can make it through the night. And so that's really powerful. I still use it. And then another one that is super powerful is vetiver. And so vetiver is another. So lavender is a floral. It comes from the flower of the plant. Vetiver is actually a root. And so it's underground roots. It grows, our vetiver comes from Haiti down in the Caribbean, and it is super, super grounding. So really, really grounding. So it can help you calm. It can help you, you know, promote restful environment for sleep. It can help to settle as you're, you know, trying to go down for the night, or for moms who have children that are a little bit on the extra energetic side, that maybe have a little bit of trouble like getting their minds to steady and focus at when they're at school, things like that. Vetiver is really powerful. And so, you know, oils can be used in different ways. So this roller bottle is really great because you can take this, and if you're a mom, you got kids, whether it's sending them off to school and wanting to help them like calm, settle, and focus for the day, or if it's to help them to unwind and settle down at nighttime. Vetiver is like every mother of every boy child should have vetiver. But you know, you can do it in a few ways, use oils in a few ways. So doTERRA's oils are certified pure tested grade. So that just means, doTERRA is the only company that has certified pure tested grade oils. So that means that there is testing done on every single liter of oil that comes through the company to make sure that it is pure, it is unadulterated, there is nothing synthetic about it. And yes, Nathan, baptize your children with a mixture of lavender and vetiver. And so how do you use these, you know, on your kids? So you can diffuse it in the home. You can diffuse it at their bedside as they're going to sleep. That's great. If, you know, as Nathan's suggesting, you can baptize your children in essential oils. That works really well. But really, you know, if you're bathing them at nighttime before bed, putting a couple drops of oil just in the bath water is a really great way. Or even just like massaging it on them when they get out. Like maybe you have a lotion that you can put on, just give them a little back rub with a few drops of essential oil. Really great way to just like love on your kids and connect with them, help them feel like, that give them that sense of intimacy, and also use natural ingredients to help them like really calm and settle. Or, for us who are older, I know when I was in some pretty difficult seasons, it's been a few years, but I would take lavender, vetiver, and what was the other? Oh, coriander. Coriander is another one. Put a couple drops each in a veggie cap and take it internally just to help me like calm and settle as far as emotions were concerned. Or roller bottles, you can use it topically. The good thing with the roller bottles is these are great for kids because these ones, the little 15 mils, they're 100% pure essential oil. These ones are diluted with fractionated coconut oil, so you don't have to dilute it. You can just roll it on your kids, give them a massage, help them to calm, and so we want to go after peace. We want peace. We want peace in our life. We want peace in our hearts. We want peace in our homes. We want our kids to have peace. And it's really amazing how, yes, we want to approach everything from like spiritually as well, but we are triune beings. We are spirit, soul, and body. And I love how God gave us things, in the natural and in the spiritual to help us. So if you're interested in getting connected or learning anything, learning more about how to use natural solutions, send me a message. I'd love to even just hop on like a 15-minute Zoom call or Facebook, Messenger call or Zoom or something with you. But yeah, awesome. Want to say hello to a few of you guys. Nicole Carson. Nicole, you're just hopping on. I was just talking about vetiver. And I was just talking about vetiver, which is one of your favorite essential oils for using on your oldest child. And, Nicole's got some powerful testimonies too. She's the example I always use when I'm talking to people about the power of essential oils. Okay, Rip Simi, hello. Brenda, good to see you. Denise Rios from Puerto Rico. Sherry Normore from Newfoundland. Lorna Fraser, hello. Jill from the UK, Teresa McDonald, good to see you guys. Charity, Julie, Christina. Okay, awesome. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. All right, let me just grab a second and see who is highlighted. Okay, Rip Simi. Yeah, Nicole, love me some vetiver. Could you ever live without vetiver? Vetiver is like, it's liquid gold. Rip Simi. Yeah, Rip Simi. Wow. I just see how the Lord, I just see such a closeness to the Lord and how you positioned yourself in this season. And I actually see him taking you by the hand. And I just see this new level of partnership where you are just clinging to him, and where you have just I see this it's like you've recommitted and rededicated just your life to him. And it's I see you've come into this beautiful place of surrender. And I just see you, in this place of fresh beginning, fresh starts, new beginnings. And I just see he's holding you up. And I just hear him saying things are going to be different this time. They're going to be so different because he says, you have chosen to hold my hand, and I am the one who holds your right hand, and he is going to uphold you. And so it's I see where, in times past, where out of eagerness and excitement, you stepped out and you did some things and you went after it. But, some of these things were great learns in your life. And sometimes, some areas where maybe you felt like you kind of tripped, fell, skinned your knees, things that we think are maybe mistakes. I just feel this sense of God is hey, good learn. You learned some really good lessons. But also in that he says, now I'm holding your hand. And so we're going to go forward and do those things again. But this time, that you are holding on to me. And I just see as you've postured yourself in this place to hold on to him, that there's such a deep settling that has come. And I just see it's you have this new hope that is this anchor to your soul, and you're just so anchored in this season. And so, I see, this anchoring, it's almost like there's been weight added to you. And so as you're moving forward, there's this new confidence, because it's like before you were lightweight in the spirit, but now you're a heavyweight in the spirit. And so it's like, I see that it's like this heavyweight, like you have this new authority. And so you're just the things that tripped you up before, like they didn't take you out, and the enemy would have liked them to be stumbling blocks, but they have been stepping stones to your place of promotion. And so I just see you stepping on, up, and over. And so I just see you going up and over obstacles. There's this grace. It's like you're running your race, like, and I see like the hurdles in the race, the hurdles where you have to run and you jump over, you go, and it's like, I see you get up to these hurdles, and then as soon as you approach them, they almost like increase in size. But the Lord gives you so much grace that it doesn't matter that the hurdles are larger than they should be. You have grace to get up and over. And so the Lord is releasing to you. And I just see like you're even leaping, you have like leaping like a gazelle, and you're going like up and over. So it doesn't matter how big the obstacle is that comes in front of you. Just know that the bigger the obstacle, the bigger the grace, because you are going, and you're not going to trip, and you're not going to fall. And so I just see a swiftness with which you get to move forward in this season. And man, because he's like right there, like might as well be a 3-legged race you're in, and Jesus is tied to you. Like it's that close. So you just go, you've got it. You're in the race, and you're in it to win it. Yeah, you've really learned how to discipline yourself and run as one who is set to win the race. So that's awesome. So good. All right, Nathan Bontrager, you're still on here, and you were first. I think you were the first one to comment. Nathan, get the lavender and the vetiver to baptize thy children. That is Jenny. Not a word of the Lord. Yes. Okay. Fresh baptism for you. You know what, Nathan, though, I really do see that peace. I see so much peace. I see peace. I see like this whirl of peace that's actually just around your family. It's this peace, and it's around your family, and it's around your home. And I just see like there's just such an incredible peace, and there's this unusual unity within your family, and it's going to be something that marks your family as you move on. And it's like I just see there's such a close connection in this. It's like I really see your family sticking together like for the long haul, like as a family unit, and moving together and doing things even 5, 10, 15 years into the future. Like I just see that God is really going to have you champion this message of family. And this has really been you have learned to put family first, and you have, I see some where you've really laid yourself down. You really laid down some ambitions and desires and some things like that because you really wanted to nurture. And I just see that like your wife and your children, and they're all really like the benefit that is coming to them because of the way that you have prioritized them. It's like it's causing this deep level foundational settling in each and every one of them. And it's like this level of foundational settling that's really unusual in the world, because it's really a reflection of, that Christ-like love where Christ lays himself down, or the Father gave all to provide that place of security. And so I just really see that spirit of adoption just really, it's going to rest on your children. It's going to sit on each and every one of your children, and they're going to know a place of acceptance and love and family unity that is not something that's forced on them, but is actually something that they're going to choose, because it's something that is just like, it's so real and it's so pure. And so I just see, I really see your children choosing and making decisions to choose and not needing to be forced. And so I just bless you. I bless you, just to continue to be the incredible example of a father that you are. And I just see there are people around you who are watching. There are many people who are watching. There's people who look and they think like, how can they do this? Like, how is this family making it work? But I see God, he's just, it's kind of like, I see like you've been in this place where it's like, okay, you have this faith level where, okay, whatever the challenge comes, like we know God is going to get us by. He's going to get us through. We're going to make it. We're going to pivot. We're going to whatever. And it's just been this kind of like, I see this level where it's like, as the needs arise and as the thing come, it's like provision comes, and it's just been coming as you need it. But I actually see a higher level that he's bringing you into, because there's some faith tests that you actually pass down here. Faith of like stepping, and faith of prioritizing, even when things didn't look in the natural like they were going to add up. And so he's bringing you up to this place. He says, you've passed that test. And so now you get to step into this higher place of overflow and abundance. And you're just going to see a greater level of provision and release and overflow, and an ability to do some things, because finances are there in a way that they weren't before. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. Hello, Claire Patricia. Welcome. All right. Let's see. Do I have one more? Do we have one more? Gloria Narija from Puerto Rico. Gloria. Wow. Gloria, I see you dancing along the yellow brick road. I see you walking the streets of gold. I see you in a place of encounter. I see you walking in the high places. And it's like, I can see that you've done the hard work, even just in dealing with some things in your family and your family line and your heritage, where you've, I see it's like you've kind of taken down some of the high places, so to speak, that have been ancestrally problematic in your family line. It's like I can see you tearing down the ancestral high places. And because it's like you've done this work to take out things that were stopping the complete flow of the spiritual inheritance and blessing in your life, and you have like I see that you in this place of like repenting of the idolatry of the past. And because of that, it's like it's unlocked you and brought you up to another level where you're able to access you're able to access the heavenly realm. It's this key that God's giving you to step into a new level of heavenly access. And I see God giving you entrance into realms of heavenly realms of encounter, and places in the heavenlies. That's what the yellow brick road is about. It's about like walking the streets of gold. And I see the Lord lifting you higher and higher into high places of encounter, and you going into the deep places in intimacy where you are so in over your head, where you are just so, taken over. And I just see you being like, up there. It's this new reality of your bilocation. And I just bless you. I see you before the Father. I see you like you're sitting there. I can see you like reaching out and touching even the like train of his robe that fills the temple. It's like I see you in this place of such nearness with him. But it's because of the work that you've done, and you've been in a process, and you've really gone after demolishing some of the high places and taking down some of those demonic scaffoldings that had been built by generations past. I just see where it's been cleared away, and God's helped you to do some of that. And, he helped you to do all of that. And so, it's like, it's this entrance. It's like, he's just rescued you. It's like rescue you. It's like I can see a breaking of old covenants that have kept you stuck and have kept you bound into lower realms of experience encounter. The blood has covered it, and they're broken, and you're released now, and you're going to go up higher and higher, and you will envision, you will see the things. And Gloria, I want to kind of like demystify. You're saying that is the cry of my heart. That is my one desire. Gloria, I've had an encounter where, I don't know, like, how much should I share? There are encounters where your spirit leaves your body and you like go someplace. And, Paul says like, I knew a man, whether in the body or out of the body, I don't know, but he, saw the third heavens, so there are those kind of encounters, but there is another level of encounter that God is wanting to demystify, because it's this place of invitation for us to step into. And God gave me the key, and just sitting just sitting on my keyboard, and I can just hit a few keys, and it's like I can just come. It's this place where we enter in through Jesus, where we enter in through the Holy Spirit into this realm of experience, and we can close our eyes and we can see what God is showing us. You can envision. So it's like, Gloria, you have this and God is showing you. So look with the eyes of your heart, the eyes of your spirit, and see and feel and touch and smell, because you have access. You do. You do have access. Yeah. All right. Who else do we have on here? Steve Thompson. Are you still watching? If not, I guess I can tag him. But Steve, you sent me just a little encouraging message, and it just provoked me to want to prophesy over you. So there you go, guys. If you want a prophecy, send me an encouraging message. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. But Steve, Steve, you ain't seen nothing yet. You've not seen anything yet. And I just see like the Lord is blessing your faithfulness, where you have served and served and served, and you have poured out and you've sought the kingdom, and you've gone after the heart, and you've done the hard work, and you have been pursuing and serving and doing all these things. But I see the Lord is going to bring you. He says, you're not always going to be backstage, behind stage, but there are places. And I just see, I see there, because there's such a deep well of wisdom on the inside of you, and there's so much that you carry, and I just see like those deep waters that run so deep, and I just see like people coming and being, people are going to come and they're going to start to draw from the well of the wealth of revelation that's on the inside of you, and and I just see you like, some of it, it's like, it's vision, it's strategy, it's breakthrough. I see you, speaking destiny over people, calling them up into their place. And it's just this, like, this overflow, because you've just been like, you've been so taking everything in for so long, and you've just been like hungering and filling yourself up, and you've just been filling. But it's like, I see like the oxygen tank that's like, gas under pressure, that like compression where there's just so much. And it's so much, an oxygen tank, it's like so much in a small package that, but the time for the release is coming, the time for more release, the time for more influence, the time for more visibility and for more exposure. And I see that the Lord is really going to bring you out. You've served in such an incredible level in the Sunday morning expression and in the local, but I actually see, and so you have that, and that is good and that is beautiful. But I actually see other areas where God is going to start to draw your heart to make connections and to do some things that are innovative and that are a little bit pioneering and that are kingdom. But they're connected in some aspects to like kingdom business. And so I see you starting to step out in this and finding people and actually really finding this like fuel and this passion that you have to be like a kingdom entrepreneur, because, it's bringing you out into this realm. It's almost like the church has this like mentality and this cap on it. And that's all good and fine, but there's so much other. So I just see God really bringing you out into these other areas and showing you your true place of calling and your true metron, because there are other places where you're going to have so much more impact. And I really see you, just walking in such a depth of wisdom and being able to like get to the heart of the matter. And I see men that sometimes like have been so locked up for so long, and I just see like God opening up their hearts to you, and you being able to like get in there and like pull some things out and put some things in. It's almost like this place where you're such a trustworthy vessel that you're actually trusted to put your hand in and do that like spiritual open heart surgery. But it's not like you don't have the knife just to cut and remove, but whatever you remove, you're filling and you're putting in. And so I see this like two-part like exchange where it's kind of like, it's like deliverance, but also calling people into destiny and, removing old ancestral roots and things like that, but then also implanting like their identity and their destiny. And what you do is really helping the them come into the fulfillment of what God has spoken over them. So I just bless you. I bless you. You know, your place has yet to be fully revealed to you, but it's like I can see there's these areas that are like starting to pull on your heartstrings. Some other areas of where you think like, oh, could I explore here? Could I try that? Maybe an invitation came, you're like, oh, could I do that? Like, is that, that's not even how I think about myself. Like, should I? And I just see that. And I just also really feel like your words need to be heard. And so there's going to be place and platform where you can release your voice, and it's going to be really powerful. It's going to be filled with wisdom and revelation. So I bless you with that, Steve. And I'm not sure if you're still watching, so I'm going to tag you when I get off. Yeah, guys, this has been so much fun. This has been so much fun. And if you want some natural help finding peace, go back to the beginning of this video. If you're just hopping on now, hello, Cassidy. And Diane Hogan, hello, Joseph Arsenal, so good. And Joseph, I had another dream about an olive tree. I just have to tell you, because we were talking about the olive tree. I had another dream this last weekend, and I had an olive tree on my plate. So, and that actually just ties right into this whole message about peace. God is calling us to peace, and he's given me, I am a carrier of peace and have like an anointing of peace. And so I just love it. Like, so, press in. And guys, I'm still doing, it is only January. What day is it? I think it's the 9th. So yeah, it's only January 9th. I've still got the promotion on for prophetic consulting. So if you like to connect with me one-on-one, spend an hour just talking through some areas where you need insight, breakthrough, help, processing, instead of $100 an hour, I'm only charging $75 an hour for this month. And you know what? I think I've had four or five different new prophetic consulting clients that have booked with me. And I am just like getting so stirred up. This is so much fun. And it's such a passion and such a honor to be able to spend the time and be able to talk with you and hear your stories and help you to get breakthrough, help you to get heaven's perspective and see things the way that God is seeing you, and give you some practical steps to help you move forward in whatever area you might be feeling stuck. So if that is something that interests you, reach out to me, and I'd love to find a time to connect with you. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow for day 7.